All right, all right. Hey, Virgos. All right, so as we mentioned, we will do an adventure series. Halloween is here, so I said I'll only do an adventure Halloween series if I can wear, the adventurer's fedora. So obviously, here we are. We'll get through every zodiac between today and tomorrow. So we kind of had to start celebrating Halloween now. Also, Virgos, just know that I will be going live again tomorrow, and we'll be doing some card pulls. So let's take a look. What is the next upcoming adventure for a Virgo? We have got a Page of Cups. Now, we may have some mystical, magical energy in this storyline as well. We'll pay attention to that also. Hi, guys. Great to see you all. All right, so here we go. Page of Cups. We've got kind of a sudden splash coming into Virgo's world. This could be a splash of excitement. This could be the splash of someone who is feeling a new surge of emotion, love. Sometimes this can be an apology that's very unexpected coming in. We have a Knight of Swords in the reverse. We have a Page of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so a lot of air energy that doesn't seem, this isn't happening like swiftly, or this is not coming in from the avenue that maybe Virgo would have expected. If Virgo's like, oh, it'll probably be this person, this immediately says, no, it isn't. It's somebody different. It's somebody unexpected. It's a situation that could be unexpected. Maybe it's the timing in which it comes in. We also have a Five of Swords in the reverse. What's great about this is I feel like like the ocean is on Virgo's side and is bringing Virgo something new, something that they wouldn't have guessed they could feel this way. And it has nothing to do with somebody that they've had, arguments and fights with in the past. There's some kind of like energy here of the next adventure Virgo has is something that comes in with the tide, comes in with the sea. This could be something or someone that washes up on Virgo shores, metaphorically or literally. Maybe Virgo lives someplace near water. Maybe they actually are, outdoors, or they're at a lake, or they're somewhere near, a river or ocean or something. We have an Ace of Swords upright and an Ace of Wands upright. This would be an adventure that Virgo is like exactly what they've wanted, something that they could say a wholehearted yes to. Even here, we have like this new journey. I'm wondering if Virgo is going to be offered something, offered a chance to go somewhere, and they're like, absolutely, yes. Or because Virgo already positions themselves like in this different place in time, maybe that's why they're getting this opportunity, but it is definitely something fresh and something new. So we're leaving behind possibly old air sign energy. And it's like, we got that message again and again and again. This isn't the past. This isn't somebody Virgo already had a fight with. This isn't a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius that Virgo already knows. This is a completely different thing. Why is this coming into Virgo's world? Is this where the magic is happening? Is this because there's something, bringing it into Virgo's life? Nine of Wands and a 10 of Wands. This is a Virgo who's a bit of a possibly divine feminine. I don't read for genders, but right now we have a Virgo who's like very much a warrior, woman or man, but we're going to lean a little toward a warrior woman who has, as always, we all have divine masculine and feminine within us. But I'm wondering if Virgo has they've worked very hard. They've repaired themselves. They were caught in some kind of spider web, some kind of trap at some point. And what they are being freed from at this point is the idea that they have to keep fighting someone or fighting for someone. I'm wondering if this Virgo has walked through this world as a bit of a protector, somebody who tends to find themselves fighting battle after battle after battle. And this is them saying, yeah, I've fought a lot of battles. That's true. But I also am in a place where not every battle is mine. And I'm finally able to look at the next chapter of my life, not as something that I have to, fight against, put all of my energy into standing up and, gnashing my teeth, or, if Virgo had to fight for somebody in the past, this next chapter doesn't look like it's going to be that complicated. This next chapter might be Virgo going with the tide. Like I said, there's something about feeling the emotions and just riding the emotions instead of feeling like they have to fight for stuff all the time. Four of Swords is sideways. It's definitely a time for healing. So Virgo's next adventure is one that would be easier, and even more passive. Now, that may not sound super exciting, but keep in mind, if our Virgos had a lot of excessive work and energy, this might be just what Virgo would want. Like, for once, can I step back? And I'm not going to be the person who has to, like, control every flow and every action. For once, could I just be the person who relaxes and releases and lets things come to me? We have a Ten of Swords in the reverse. I definitely feel like this Virgo has been, I mean, this could be the role that they played their whole life, in a family and everything. It's like there's been a lot to grieve. There's been a lot. I keep picturing Virgo had to, like, grow up way too young, had to fight for other people most of their life, maybe. There've been a lot of burdens, and they put aside some of their own grief pretty frequently. It feels like this is a Virgo who didn't have time to deal with things that hurt them, because they were always like, yeah, but I got to protect that person, and I got to fight for that person, and whatever's happened in my own world, how it's impacted me, I got to put my wounds to the back burner. I can cry later, I can grieve later. And I think this is later. I think this is the time where Virgo gets to kind of relax a little and let the kind of like the tides take Virgo someplace now. What does that mean? Universe, this feels like Virgo is kind of surrendering in this and saying what's supposed to happen will happen. We have a Seven of Wands, and if you look, we've got kind of like a Spartan warrior. I don't know if Virgo was a Spartan once in a past life. Of course, now, if you look closer, it's actually Colosseum, so we're not in Greece at all. We're in Rome, aren't we? So I guess we've got a pleb over here. We got a Roman warrior instead. I saw it first as what looked like a Spartan helmet to me, but this would be much later in historical times than Sparta. So I don't know if our Virgo was indeed a warrior. I would say we have enough evidence now to say that. But this says, yes, and I'm done, like, being a gladiator, or I'm done. And I think that the universe is saying Virgo has realized they don't always have to be the person who steps up. They don't always have to be the one who steps into the ring to fight for everybody else. I definitely feel like this is a Virgo who will always, like, if they hear somebody else is getting treated unfairly, like, this is a Virgo who steps up in front of them. Or they're like, wait, what do you mean they said that they're not going to help you? I'm going to go make sure that you do get the help that you need. I'll find a way to make sure things are made right for you. I think that's been the role Virgo has played, but the universe is like, okay, hang on. There's a lot to be said for being a protector, but there's also a lot to be said for don't look at every problem as something you have to fight to solve. Let some of that past life warrior energy rest and see if you can welcome in solutions, because we're trying to give them to you now, Virgo. This is very different and could be even a little uncomfortable for this Virgo, because they're not used to this. But the Virgos, or the universe says to Virgo, try it. You just might like it. Three of Pentacles. There's a huge amount of, like, divine peace, support. I think Virgo's going to discover that people are way better than Virgo thinks, and that people are also way stronger. And if they start to say, I know it's not always my job to fix everything for everybody, they're going to start to find themselves interacting with people that, are taking care of their own problems to a certain extent, are wanting to interact with Virgo, be a part of Virgo's world without immediately saying, here's my problems, how about you fix them for me? How about you go fight for me? I think it's Virgo's walking like a more peaceful path, and they're going to start to encounter people that have more stability in their own lives. And I think Virgo's going to start to be able to bond with other people that have, like, also maybe a similar divine purpose, which right now it seems like the purpose is peace, not battle. I kind of love this because it looks so, we have the Tower. There's definitely, Virgo is changing the way they see themselves. I'm not the warrior anymore. I'm the peace bringer now. I'm the person who collaborates. I'm thinking that Virgo could finally start to have, like, the kind of relationships that they want, instead of getting involved with people where it's like immediately there's conflict. Let's go over here for just a minute and say, because we can see one of the things that's not, coming into Virgo's world finally is a bunch of conflict that they had. At the beginning, I said, okay, so they're not dealing with an air sign. We don't have this sudden, influx of somebody showing up in Virgo's world. I'm just wondering, that could have represented many people or a specific relationship in Virgo's past that was always like trying to like solve the puzzle that somebody presented, or because this is, can be a card of spying. I'm wondering if Virgo had relationships in the past, or one in particular with an air sign, where it was like, I mean, the person was like a clamshell and I was always trying to pry them open. Maybe that's something that Virgo doesn't, that's not what their next adventure is. There's no more like, I have to solve somebody's secrets and their mystery. Instead, it's so crazy because this Virgo gets to actually like lay down in the canoe and let the river of life take Virgo where it's supposed to be. And it's like Virgo's going to wash up on shores where they meet people that are great. Honestly, Virgo just has to receive. So it doesn't sound so much as an adventure as it does Virgo shifting gears and learning how to be another version of themselves instead of the warrior Virgo. This is the calm, the peaceful, the go with the flow Virgo, and seeing what shores is the universe trying to land me on. Let me hop in the river of life, but this time I'm not even going to paddle. I'm just going to see, where am I supposed to be? That's maybe the best way for me to ask the next question then. Where is Virgo supposed to be, universe? We can see that someplace in the Three of Pentacles, but what does that mean? Ooh, we got a whole bunch of cards. A Two of Cups, a Princess of Pentacles, the Justice card, the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. We have a lot of Egyptian, obviously the backdrop that we went with for this is very Egyptian. I'm sorry, my big old head's in the way because it's actually a really pretty backdrop, but I'm blocking a lot of it. But we certainly talk about a magical, mystical story after all. We've got these obelisks that are very clearly sending messages either to the cosmos, or the cosmos are receiving the messages and sending them right into Virgo's life. But we have got a love story for Virgo. We have got the Two of Cups. It almost says Virgo was never going to meet their true partner until they quit fighting for everybody else. Maybe this indicates Virgo didn't have a chance to build partnership, or maybe because everything Virgo did was with this mindset of like, there's going to be a problem and I'm going to have to fix it. Maybe that's why we need to change a mindset, because it's like we're primed for conflict. Language is important sometimes. Saying I'm a defender, I'm a protector, I'm going to battle. Maybe it's better not to even use language like that if what we actually want is peace. Battle for peace? No, not everything is a war. Not everything is, and humans shouldn't have war, period. We're better than that. We have brains, we have thumbs. We can make music and go to the moon. So we can definitely do a hell of a lot better. And I just feel like sometimes it's glorified to be, fighting all the time. But this storyline says there's a different kind of like glory to be had. And I think for Virgo, this is like they never could actually have that divine counterpart until they finally stopped thinking that they had to fight everyone else's battles and protect everybody from even their own bad choices. Because I'm thinking sometimes this Virgo protected people from willfully made bad choices, or people that were like, well, I don't want to do the difficult thing of just like standing up for myself, so I'll let Virgo do it. I think Virgo had to say, this isn't what I'm here for. I'm here to also like experience peace. And it just says, this is what Virgo's future holds. A Two of Cups. This is Virgo's getting married. We've been getting a lot of pretty awesome Virgo messages lately. Virgo's planting new seeds. It's like the time for them to farm. It's time for them to harvest. It's time for them to build the life that they want to build. It's time for them to finally, whatever they've been denied with the Justice card. This could talk about relationships. Remember, we had a really strong, like possibly like air sign that was nothing but conflict. Somebody who like the more Virgo wanted to be a partner to them, the more they might have created hostility, the more they might have said, the more Virgo wants to know me, the more I'm going to clam up. I think this is passive now. This is like somebody who would want to open up to Virgo. It's everything Virgo didn't get is now starting to come forth. And it's with, again, Virgo just stepping back and receiving. You notice how the Four of Pentacles is about holding back, but then we have all of these blossoming cherry flowers. And it's like, we don't stand there and tell nature when to bloom. Nature blooms anyway because it already has its plan. We don't have to control it, and we don't have to, you know, kind of do anything other than, I mean, maybe we do a little bit of making sure that we nurture things, making sure that we water the trees and the plants. But for the most part, nature does what it needs to without our intervention. And I almost think that's the new adventure for Virgo, to kind of step back and say, universe, with this, if I'm a passive rider on the river of life for just a minute, will you really land me on shores where something good happens to me? Because I don't know what that's like. I've always had to slash through the forest with my machete and fight to create a path and make paths for other people to go places I didn't even want to go. But you're telling me I don't have to do that. I can just get on the river of life, and that's going to lead me to where I'm supposed to be. This is new. This is new. It's one more step, though. The universe says, but Virgo also has to be really open to the messages from the universe. So, universe, what is the biggest message that you're trying to convey to Virgo then? What is your biggest message to Virgo? I love this one for Virgo. 6 of Wands. The universe says, you done good. You're quite the battler. People know you as somebody who stands up and does the right thing. People know you as somebody that does things, in an admirable way. So Virgo, just know you don't have to prove yourself anymore in the battles. With the Justice card here, it also says, and Virgo, somebody knows that they actually treated you cruelly as well. But that's for them to carry the burden of, and it's for you to let go of. These are the big messages. Everything here is encouraging Virgo to just let go, to just relax, to just release and flow down that river of life for a minute. We get the Knight of Swords and we have that star. There is a true path for Virgo. I do feel like Virgo is quite a divine character. You see, we've got the DNA strand coming down from the cosmos. I think Virgo was never going to end up on their right path until they could surrender to it. Their path isn't really to have to fight everything. I mean, there's a lot of great songs. I'm thinking Seven Nation Army. I'm going to fight them all. Seven Nation Army couldn't hold me back. But that's not really what Virgo's destiny has ever been. It's not always to find the next obstacle and have to get around it or over it. Some of those things are for other people to do on their own. And this time, Virgo's life path is like, go where the waterfall flows. Just like, Virgo might actually be a healer, not a warrior, surprisingly enough. Virgo's real life path might be in peace and not in battles. And maybe Virgo didn't know this. I think giving way to the softer things in life, giving way to love, opening up their heart, being in this more gentle, flowing energy is actually going to bring in so much abundance for Virgo. But I could see them possibly really gravitating toward the spiritual types of healing. I mean, if DNA is going to be activated in this Virgo, I'm wondering, no matter what age bracket this Virgo may find themselves in, I'm wondering if they are suddenly going to recognize that they have like a particular gift. Again, it's likely something to do with the healing arts because of that star card. And it's something they could be very, very good at. I could see this Virgo kind of operating as a completely different personality type than who everyone has known them as their whole life. All of a sudden, Virgo could be very serene. Like I said, they could be quite the healer. Maybe this is somebody who's going to go into, something about energy, like Reiki healing or polarity therapy or something along those lines. But there's a lot of different ways that we can operate as a healer. It's just very interesting to see that's a different way to help people get through problems instead of battling for them, maybe teaching people to heal. That could be a part of it. This could be something physical, like physical therapy, for example, or this could be something totally in the spiritual realm. But that's the biggest message here for Virgo. Your next adventure is not one of slashing through forests with your machete. In fact, you're done with that chapter, at least for this fictional character, right? All right, you guys. So nice to see everybody. Yes, we are officially in our Halloween era because it's going to take me today and tomorrow to get the Halloween series. I had a couple of you requested like an adventure series, and I was like, I'm only doing adventure if I can be my alter ego. You know, I always wanted to be, if I couldn't be me, then I would have picked to probably be Indiana Jones. And so I was like, I'll only do an adventure series if I can wear a fedora. And here comes Halloween, so I figured this is the perfect time to cheese it up and have some fun with my preferred alter ego. And so that is what we're going to do. But it will take me tonight and tomorrow to get all the zodiacs their Halloween adventure message. So don't forget, I will be going live sometime tomorrow as well on both channels. It'll be before sundown just because I don't want to contend with little trick-or-treaters, and Aries, of course, will bark if he hears the doorbell ring. So we will go live, though, on both channels and do some storytellings for subscribers and members alike. Slave Prince, is so great to see you. Sweet Carolina. Hey, babe. You're so cute, Sweet Carolina. Oh my God. I was munching candy, wasn't I? That was like in, I think, probably the beginning of my channel. That was probably year one. So Sweet Carolina, you sweetheart. I can't believe you've been with me so long. Hi, Desiree. Heather Cadrick. Hey, darling. Black Butterfly 25. Hi, honey. No love. You're so cute. I haven't even tried to consider if I could link it or not. I will try, though. I was looking for, a standard like adventurer's hat. This is just a costume piece. This isn't like a really good quality hat, but I doubt it would hold up in the rain, for example. And I'm pretty sure I couldn't go into any tombs. But I will try very hard to link it. Alana, good to see you, babe. Hi, Marty. Jazzy B, hey, babe. Majestic. Oh, Majestic. I love the way you spelled it. That's so awesome. Sydney Barnett, Work Doodles. Hey, babe. Patricia Bocator, awesome to see you, babe. Awesome, Anita, thank you. Whoops, sorry, guys. Okay, there we go. I couldn't see the chat all of a sudden. Megan B, wonderful to catch you, babe. Shonda, hi, hon. Cataclysmic Awakening. All right, everybody. Marisol Rosa. Wonderful to see you. Happy second live. Hey, G. Shirley Midor. And Emily, you were first in the house, babe. So nice to see you. I know I almost never get to see you in the lives. Nikki O. Earth Vibes. Delighted you're here. All right, you guys, we are going to probably do at least 6 zodiacs tonight and then the other 6 tomorrow. So I'll keep moving through our zodiacs. All right. Esoteric M. Thanks, honey. La Unique One. Wonderful to see you. All right, you guys. Take care. Bye for right now.